Hello YouTube, this is Ken with Nothing Fancy Collectibles. Just wanted to share some 1960 Topps and one 1960 Fleer, and we'll start off with the Fleer. George Sisler, and it is a PSA 5. George Sisler. There's some stats. Card number 13 in the set. And of course, he is with the Boston Braves. Or should I say was. All right. Al Kaline. SGC 2.5. Apologize for the glaring. I'm trying to correct that issue with a little body blocking. And that's a good looking Tigers card. At least I think so. There's some highlights. All right. Next we'll move on to Don Zimmer. Shortstop for the Dodgers. SGC 4.5. I like the two-part or the two-picture front. Manhattan Beach, California. How many out there actually got to see him play? Art Cesarelli. Pitcher for the Cubs. PSA 8. Got another Cubby coming up later. Ah, that helped. Don McMahon with the Milwaukee Braves. PSA 7. Love those high-graded vintage cards. I love the low-graded vintage cards. I just love the vintage. So he was a photography fan. What if he collected cards? Philippe Alou, outfielder for the Giants. PSA 5. It'll get into focus. There we go, finally. At the time, one of the fastest men in baseball. All right. Ken McBride. PSA 7 pitcher for the White Sox. Don't you just love the two picture fronts? I do. I think I have shown this one before, maybe, in a different Ed Matthews with the Braves. SGC 4.5. Looking all serious. I'd say when players are playing, they got to be serious. Looks like a rough cut along the edge. So the previous year, which would have been 59, he was the National League Homer King. Good for Mr. Matthews. Jim Brosnan with Cincinnati Reds. Pitcher, PSA 7. I love the mascot logos. Those vintage ones. So they say he was most effective against the Cardinals and the Cubs. Looks like a ink mark or something there. Doesn't affect my attitude. Don Mincher, first base with the Washington Senators. PSA 5. And I mentioned in a different video, should have been earlier than this one, how I came across some Topps posters. I mentioned it in someone else's video. And Don Mincher was one of those featured, but he was with the Seattle Pilots. This, I think, was $69.70. To find those posters, it was about 5 or 6 came across them during COVID. A secondhand store in the area. That's how I learned about the single season team, the Seattle Pilots. I bet we all are familiar with this one. Hank Aaron, how could you not want that one? I know I had to have it. SGC 6. Can't help but stare at it. And 57 voted the most valuable player. Let's look at that film again. All right. Minnie Minoso, outfielder for the White Sox. SGC 5. I hear a couple different folks talk about Minnie Minoso a lot. A coveted player for some folks. The card, I had to have it. Another one we know. Ernie Banks. TSA 7. I was happy to grab a hold of that one. There, it looks like a little print hickey. Little print defect. May have affected the grade a little. At the time, he held the record for the most grand slam homers in a season. 5 and 58. I think I've got an Ernie Banks rookie that'll be featured later that I came across Card Shop and submitted it to SGC. Made me happy. And this one, a good actual playing days of Mickey Mantle. Only an SGC 3, but it looks pretty good. I got a couple raw ones from Card Shop because they were playing days Mantles, but they were like the run over by a truck division. So this one makes me a lot happier. Hope you enjoyed the trip to the 60s. Folks, have a great day and enjoy collecting those things you like.